Subject AC machines. Topic single phase transformers. Subtopic is theory of an ideal transformer and practical transformer on no load. So here the objectives on completion of this topic you will be able to know the theory of an ideal transformer, practical transformer working on no load, vector diagram for the above ideal transformer and practical transformer vector diagram. So, in the previous class we learned the transformation ratio of a transformer. Here we are going to deal about ideal transformer. So here the ideal transformer is an ideal transformer is one whose output is equal to the input. That means it is losses free transformer. Here losses free transformer means there is no copper losses, iron losses, and also no voltage drops in the transformer. So this is called an ideal transformer. It is the ideal transformer is free from the losses. So transformer is called an ideal transformer if it satisfies the following properties. First one is has no iron losses. Second one is no hysteresis and eddy current losses. So that means here in iron losses there is no eddy current and hysteresis losses. That means absence of iron losses. Next one is, so here in a transformer the iron losses, that means hysteresis and eddy current losses in a transformer core are zero. Windings have zero resistance. That means there is no ohmic power loss and no resistive voltage drop. No ohmic power loss and no resistive voltage drop. Here the leakage flux is zero. Here the leakage flux is zero. That means 100% the flux is produced by primary. 100% flux produced by primary. Windings readings with the secondary winding. Flux produced 100% flux produced by primary windings links with secondary windings. Here the next one is permeability of core is high. Permeability of core is high, therefore it is in that core negligible currents. That means, so here required to establish flux. Negligible current means required to establish flux is, so next one is efficiency is 100%. Efficiency is 100%. That means power input is equal to the power output. What is that? How much is power giving to this transformer? That much of output power it can give without losses. So the efficiency is 100%. Here, the practically no transformer is ideal. So there is no existence ideal transformer in practical. So knowledge of ideal transformer helps us to develop the concept of behavior of practical transformer. Consider an ideal transformer as shown in figure. Show this one. Let the primary supply voltage be V1. As there is no load, the secondary current I1 equal to 0. That means the transformer is secondary is open circuited. No load means the secondary current is 0. And also here they can write the secondary current I1. That means here this is I2. I2 is 0. Secondary is open. I2 is 0. Here, see in this circuit, this is the I2 is 0. It is opened, and this is the supply. Supply voltage V1, induced EMF at the primary side E1. The supply primary side is current is I1, and the flux is pi, and this is the primary and this one is secondary, and induced EMF at secondary side is E2, and load voltage is V2, and here the open circuited I2 current is 0. As there is no load, the secondary current I1 is equal to 0. That means the secondary is open circuited. To produce the flux, a small current is applied on primary side. As winding are purely reactive, so this current I1 lags V1 by 90 degrees. I1 lags V1 by 90 degrees. This current is called magnetizing current. For produce a flux producing a flux in the core, there is some amount of current is required to produce the flux. For that flux, the current is reactive current I1 that is lags by V1 by 90 degrees. This current is called magnetizing current I mu. Magnetizing current is I mu. So which magnetize the core. So this flux for establishing or for producing of this flux, we need a current. We need some current. That current is called magnetizing current. Magnetizing current I mu. Magnetizing current I mu. This current, this is one magnetizing current. So this current is lag by the 90 degrees with V1. The magnetizing current I mu is always in phase with the flux. The magnetizing current always in phase with the flux. Here, observe this one. Observe this one here. In this case, in the previous point, so the voltage is in this way, V1 supply voltage, and the magnetizing current is 90 degrees, exactly 90 degrees lagging. So here this is the magnetizing current, I mu, and this I mu and flux are both are in phase. So here this is the flux, this is the flux. If this flux is in phase with the I mu, so here I mu and flux both are in phase. These are the reactive components. So the varying flux is linked with both the windings, and so induced EMF in both primary winding E1 and secondary winding E2 will be lag behind the flux by 90 degrees. Lag E1 will be lag behind the flux 90 degrees. This is the E1. Also is called, this is also E2. This is this. So this is the 90 degrees. This is the 90 degrees. So here E1 E2 lags the lag behind the flux by 90 degrees. Behind the flux by 90 degrees. This is the formula. See here, this is the see here, this is the V1, this is the V1, and this is a flux and I mu, and E1 E2. These are the E1 E2. The EMFs E1 E2 are in phase with each other. The magnitude of induced EMF in the primary winding E2 will be approximately equal but opposite to the applied voltage V1, and is known as a counter EMF or back EMF. Once again, the magnitude of induced EMF in the primary winding E2 will be approximately equal but opposite to applied voltage V1, and is known as counter EMF or back EMF. So this is the circuit diagram of transformer. Here this is core, this is core, this flux is passing through the core. This flux is produced from the magnetizing current. So the flux and the magnetizing current both are in phase. So I mu and a flux is 90 degrees lagging with V1, and this flux and E1 E2 are lagging by 90 degrees with the flux. E1 E2 are opposite to the V1. So this E1 is called a counter EMF or back EMF. So the secondary voltage V1 that we code D1 as there is no voltage drop in secondary winding. Here the secondary voltage is nothing but this is V2 and this is also V2, not even E2. This is V2 and V2. The phasor diagram is showing the left. The flux is common to both. That means the primary side and secondary side, the flux is common to both. And winding sense taken as a reference to draw the vector diagram. The flux is common to both primary and secondary windings, hence taken as reference. So to draw vector diagram for the transformer vector diagram, here this is the transformer diagram. The practical transformer, now go for practical transformer. When an AC supply is given to the primary side of the transformer, when an AC supply is given to the primary side of the transformer and the secondary terminals are left open. When an AC supply is given to the primary side of the transformer and the secondary terminals are left open, its primary winding takes very small current known as no load current, and that is I0. This shown in figure. See here, this is a I0 current for no load practical transformer, no load current. No load current I0 is usually 2 to 5% of its full load current. No load current I0 is usually 2 to 5% of its full load current, which produces the flux pi in the core. A part of the current I0 will, however, be spent on supplying iron losses in the core. A part of the I0 will, however, be spent on supplying iron losses in the core. See here, this is a V1 and here the flux is reference for the primary side and secondary side, and E1 is a counter EMF which opposes the V1. E1, E2 or V2 both are same. So here the flux, here the E1 lags by flux 90 degrees. So here this is the 90 degrees, and the current I0 current, in practically I0 current is 2 to 5% of full load current, which produces the flux. A part of I0 current has been spent on supplying iron losses in the core. This I0 is for the some part is spent for iron losses in the core. Small amount of copper losses N0 square R1 in the primary winding. There is being no copper losses, the secondary as it is open. So here, due to this I0 square into R1 at primary side, that is called copper losses. Only the copper losses present at the primary side. At secondary side, the winding at secondary side, the load is open, there is no current at the secondary side, so no copper losses at the secondary side. Why it is open circuited at secondary side? Alternating flux pi will induce an EMF in the primary as well as in the secondary side windings. So the primary EMF is E1 and the secondary EMF is E2 or in phase with each other. So the induced EMF will lag behind the flux by 90 degrees. See here V1 and the flux I0, IWMU and E1. The induced EMF, this EMF will be lag behind the flux by 90 degrees. The no load current I0 taken by the primary consists of two components. One a reactive or magnetizing component producing the flux and hence in phase with the flux. Hence in phase with the flux. So I mu and flux both are in phase. An active or working component supplying the iron losses and negligible copper losses in the primary winding. The working component is in phase with the supply voltage V1, IW. The IW is in phase with the V1. Here, the net current is divided into two components. One is the IMU and another one is the IW. I0 is equal to IMU plus IW. See here, this is I0, IW, IMU. Therefore, no load current I0 is nothing but under root of IMU square plus IW square. I0 is equal to under root of IMU square plus IW square. The phasor diagram for no load conditions is shown in figure. E1 is the primary winding induced EMF. E2 also induced EMF in secondary winding. No load current I0 lags supply voltage V by an angle of pi naught. No load current I0 lags supply voltage V1 by an angle of pi naught. The cos pi naught is no load. Cos pi naught is no load power factor and active or working component of current IW, that is equal to I0 cos pi naught. Reactive or magnetizing component of current is I mu equal to I naught cos pi naught, not cos pi naught. This is a sin pi naught here. You have to write it. This is sin pi naught, sin pi naught. Here reactive component is I mu is equal to I naught sin pi naught. Active component is IW is equal to I naught into cos pi naught. On no load, the primary copper losses are negligible. Hence, the no load primary input power is equal to the iron losses occurring in the core of the transformer. Now, no load input power W naught is equal to V1 cos phi naught, that is equal to V1 IW. W naught is equal to here V1 I naught cos pi 1, here V1 I naught cos pi naught. V1 only here, V1 only written, V1 into I not cos pi naught, that is equal to V1 into I W. That means working component of current. So we have discussed about the theory of an ideal transformer, the practical transformer on no load, vector diagram for the above. An ideal go for quiz. An ideal transformer is said to be loss free transformer. It is yes, true, free from the iron losses and copper losses. The frequently asked examination questions. Theory of an ideal transformer. Explain in detail theory of an ideal transformer. Draw and explain no load vector diagram of a single phase transformer. Define that magnetizing component of current and working component of current of no load current. Thank you.